So, having written an outline to the paragraph and seeing how to express opinion and respond to an opinion, now I have written beforehand a paragraph. But I want to get with you onto the main steps of the paragraph. Now, a paragraph, as said, is a whole unit of ideas. That it is made up with three main paragraphs: an introduction, a development, and a conclusion. Then a paragraph must have some rules. Now, a very good way to start a paragraph is to write a title to your paragraph. It's not an obligatory practice, but it's something useful. Now, when you write a paragraph in your back exam and you put a title to your paragraph, now you are helping the corrector, the person who's correcting your paper, and give him an idea, an unconscious idea, that you are mastering the rules of writing a paragraph. Now, remember the topic is, some people or some officials pretend or argue that accepting a bribe is not an illegal act, rather it's a gift, it's a present given for a service that they are giving to people. Now, what do you think about this practice? Do you think that it is illegal, or that it is not, or that it is legal? Now, corruption, is it a legal practice? Now, the title has got something very good to write. It's attracting the reader to write your paragraph. But for the title, there are some rules. Now, look, corruption, it's a capital C. Two dots is capital I, then look, capital It, then capital L, then capital P. Now, you ask me, do you write a capital in the middle of a sentence? No, but this is not the sentence, it's a title. Now, the title has got a conventional rule, is that every word of the title is written starting with a capital letter, except the prepositions or the articles. The, and, with, under, etc. But when it's in the beginning, it's written in a capital letter. So this is the basis of the letter, the capital, the title, sorry. Now, so corruption, two dots. Is it a legal practice? Now, when you start this way, you are leashing the appetite. You are attracting. You are you are asking a question that it is strange. It means you tell people that you think that it is a legal practice. Now, okay, so we said that when we write an essay, we write a paragraph, we are making an introduction, a development, and a conclusion. So remember, we are following the same pattern that you wrote in the essay. So first, an introduction. But before we come to the remember, look, there's a space number 2, and space number 3. Starting a paragraph needs to go with a space. Now, when you let a space and start with a capital letter, you are following the rules of economics, the rules of paragraphs. A paragraph, the marking is the space. The more you find space in an essay, the more is the number, it means the exact is the number. It means you find 5 spaces, there are 5 paragraphs. There are 6 spaces, there are 6 paragraphs. There are 3 spaces, there are 3 paragraphs. Now, remember, look at this introduction. Look, it's 2 lines. Look, it's 2 lines. Now, 2 lines to introduce your paragraph. You cannot write 6 or 7 lines to introduce a paragraph unless you write a longer paragraph. Now, you must respect a certain kind of number of lines. Now, in your back exam, they ask you to write a paragraph of about 10, 12, maximum 15 lines. It means 150 words. 150 words, you take 0, and you get 15 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is a very good number of lines for a paragraph. Now, these 10 are on the table, on the board, but on your WRITING paper, they may reach 15 lines. But remember that your back exam paper is a big paper, so you can write 10 or 15 lines without a problem. But be sure that you are not writing a too short or a too long essay. Now, here is the definition, is the introduction. Now look, 2 lines for the introduction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines for the development. So, if you write 2 lines in the introduction, you need to double this number of lines by 3. So it means if here there's 1 line, minimum 3 lines here. If there's here 3 lines, minimum 9 lines here. If there's here 4 lines, minimum 12 lines here. And the conclusion is, it's less longer. It means, look, in the definition, in the beginning of the paragraph starts with 2 lines, but look here in the end of the conclusion, write a line and nearly a half. So the conclusion shouldn't be long. A conclusion is just there to restate, to consolidate, to conclude, to finish, to sum up what has been written in the paragraph. Now, here I started by a definition of the term corruption. So by definition, comma, remember, we write the mechanics of writing. So by definition is a phrase introducing a definition. But between the word definition and the word corruption, there must be a comma, because corruption is not part of this. It's by definition, it's a preposition. Corruption is an illegal payment for an unlawful. Now remember, unlawful is the synonym of illegal. But because I am in a paragraph, I can write is an illegal payment for an illegal service, but it would be just a repetition. So I have used another word which is unlawful. It means which is against the law. What? Service. So this is the definition of corruption, a broad definition of corruption. Or it's a process involving the giving and the acceptance of a bribe or an illegal payment. Or corruption is a bribe, which is the synonym of an illegal payment. It's a bribe for an unlawful service or an illegal service. This is the definition. Now, and after the definition, I'm now introducing the topic of the essay. Some people or some officials argue. I can say pretend, I can say think, I say believe, I say see. Pretend or argue that it's not valid, that it is not illegal or it is not unlawful. Here I'm introducing the definition of the word corruption because it's the main part of the paragraph, and at the same time I'm introducing an opinion of it's not your opinion, but it's people's opinion. And the best way to transit, to go from the introduction to the development, is going through a question. Can corruption be a legal act? It's a question mark. And this is the best way to do. It means you start by introducing a paragraph, then you go through from the introduction to the paragraph, to the development, through a question. And here it's very easy to move from one side to another side. So, can corruption be an illegal act? And the corrector, the person who's going to correct your paper, is going to understand that this development is going to answer this question. It means here, you are going to say, whether it is an illegal or a legal act. So this is the introduction. Now, remember I told you that when you start your opinion, so you can start building your opinions, say, for me, for example, or I believe, or I think, for me, comma, why? Because this is an expression for opinion, and this is a subject of another sentence. So you cannot, so comma. Remember, starting with the capital letter, comma, and going to the lines, full stop. Starting with the capital letter, and full stop. Then starting with the capital, remember these are the mechanics of writing paragraph. All these is counted, all these is scored in your paragraph. Now, for me, I believe, I think, if asked, accepting a bribe, I didn't say corruption. Remember, the more you avoid repetition, I'm teaching you the use of synonyms. For example, I told you, remember, as long as, instead of saying as long as, or if, we are changing from as long as to provide next something like that. So, instead of saying corruption, I can say corruption can be, never be. For example, here, corruption. But remember, corruption would be a repetition. So, accepting, as a synonym, accepting a bribe can never be a legal act. Remember, I'm right from the beginning giving my opinion. This, I'm completely against this idea that corruption is a legal act. So, accepting a bribe can never, and this is on the word never, because I am here giving a completely disagreement to this idea. Never be a legal act. Why now? Giving arguments. Why are you saying this? Because corruption is exploiting the need of other people. Because when you're asking for a bribe, you are exploiting this person to give you an extra payment, and this person is in need, and he must do this because you are cutting him on a real tiny way. You are squeezing him, you are forcing him, obliging him to give you this bribe because he needs that job or needs that document or that service. We're not thinking about those who are paying bribes to get illegal services. We're thinking about those who need really legal services. For example, you need a job. It's your right to do this. So, first, because it is, so this is the first argument. So, first, corruption, I didn't say because, I just write a full stop. The best way to write a paragraph is subject, verb, complement. So, subject, accepting a bribe, can never be the verb, what? A legal act, full stop. And go to second. I can say because, but better to full stop, because the more your paragraph is easy and simple, the more it is accepted. So, corruption is exploiting the need. Remember, the need. The people really need that. So, this is the first argument. Another argument. Now, remember, as long as, remember what I told you about the language in context. I'm not teaching you the conditional, the wish clause, the recommendation, just to make them in the grammar. No, I want you to use them in your paragraph. So you remember, as long as is expressing what? Condition. Good. Condition. So I'm using this idea, I'm exploiting this in a paragraph sentence. So as long as, it's the second argument, as long as, or if, or providing that. So as long as officials ask for an under-table payment. Remember, look, I said bribe, and I'm repeating it. So I'm giving another synonym. An under-table. I could say illegal, but I don't want to use the same words. I'm changing the words. I play on the synonyms. So, an under-table payment to deliver, for example, a document or guide people to get a job or an apartment. Or as long as they're doing this, what are they doing? They will, remember the rule, after as long as, you write the verb in the present, but the second verb is will plus stem. So what they did, they will violate the code of ethics. So this is the second argument. The first argument, they exploit people, and second argument, it's a violation, it's against ethics, it's against the values of society. So they are violating the codes of ethics. Now, and I just consolidate. I believe, remember, for me, I believe that, what? That this act is what? This act. I'm not saying corruption. I'm using this act, reference to coercion. Remember, this here refers to illegal payment, refers to corruption. So that this act is an abuse. What act? Accepting a bribe is, I believe that this act is an abuse. Remember, I'm using the synonyms of the unit. It's an abuse, it's a cheating, it's a deception. It's an abuse. Why? Because it is the cause of others. Remember, others, and I write an apostrophe because of the possessive way. Others what? Miseries and difficulties. So, when you ask someone to give you a bribe, you are forcing his hand, you are pushing him to steal, to do anything to get that money, to give it to you for this service. So you are exploiting them in their miseries, in their difficulties. You know that they are forced to do it, so you are exploiting them. Now, another argument, this is another argument, it means you are causing the miseries and the difficulties to others. First, exploitation. Second, it's violating the codes of ethics. And the third argument I'm giving to you to say that this is not good is forcing the hand. It's making making problems to others, causing problems to others. Now, and on another hand, we have got millions of people. Today, in our society, are jobless, means they don't have a job. And homeless, they have no shelter, no home. Why? Because, now remember because? No, I have used because here in one of the sentences, like because, and I'm really using the same. So what do I do? It's just taking this second because, avoiding repetition, and saying, for example, since, or for, or out. Remember? Since they refuse to pay bribes. Some people are really honest. They prefer to stay without a job or without a home than giving a bribe, which is an illegal act. Okay, these are the arguments I have given to my opinion. So at the end, I want to restate what I've said. So remember, in the end, to sum up, finally, for example, what? Corruption cannot be, I'm restating, cannot be what? A legal act. Why? Because it is illegal. It's not accepted. It's an unethical act. And remember, using the terms, all people had better. Remember here, I've used the conditional form, and here I'm using the recommendations. Remember, using the language in context. Had better what? Be honest. If the businessmen are honest, if the officials are honest, if the people are honest, all the society is honest. It's high time. Remember high time? The wish clause? So I'm also using a wish. Now, it's high time society eradicated, using the simple past after high time. To express, remember, regret. This is a present wish. Eradicated this evil act from society. So, I have another time giving you an example of how you can use the language in context. So, believe me, this is not a really difficult matter to write a paragraph, but it's a matter of practice, and practice. Thank you very much.